Hey guys, it's been a busy day. I just got home and been walking around everywhere. I just kind of wanted to complain about something that's annoying. So, um, if you don't know, which you probably don't because I'd never said it before, I naturally have really bad acne, and so I have to use medication and stuff. A little bit recently, about like a month ago, so what I use is, well, before I was using Epiduo, which is a combination of benzoyl peroxide and something else, I don't know. Benzoyl peroxide is like a main thing for acne. It's probably just one of the like main treatments. I would definitely recommend it, but it's not a product. Like, you can buy it, but it's like a thing, like benzoyl peroxide, like green tea or something, you know what I mean? Okay, so, but, so I was using that, and then I switched because, like, I have some, like, hyperpigmentation on the side of my face, which is, like, it's kind of what people usually call acne scars, but it's not actually scars, because they're not permanent, luckily. Scars are usually, like, indentations in the skin, or you can actually feel them when you move your hand over the face. Mine is hyperpigmentation, so it goes away in like a period of months, but I still get a little bit of acne, so it doesn't actually go away because more acne comes back. It's just not a lot, but so I was like kind of like blah blah blah. Okay, so whatever. And then so I wanted to switch over to the regimen, which is like regimen, that sounds better. I don't know what the word is, which is just this thing that is on acne.org. It's the regimen is just a certain like routine process treatment kind of thing that you do. It's made by this guy named Dan Kern. I said it's on acne.com. It's just called the regimen, which is kind of ambiguous because a regimen, like, that's an actual word. It's like calling it like the plan or something. But anyway, it's called the regimen. I did it before when I was younger, but I didn't do it precisely. And it just basically is a certain way of using benzoyl peroxide. So I knew that I wouldn't like get all my acne back or anything, but it's just kind of a shift in the way I was like treating my skin and stuff, because he claims that it's like works for like 99% of people, or I don't know, and it's just like fabulific or whatever. I was hoping maybe it would like get me like completely clear skin, which A, would just look nice, but B, I want the like pigmentation to fade, and then I could have like really nice skin. So I just decided to switch over to that, and he says it's like you have to follow it exactly. So I'm trying to follow it exactly, only the problem is I can't get the measurements right for the products. So it says that you're supposed to use 4 milliliters or 1 teaspoon of benzoyl peroxide. That's what it said. So I got a teaspoon measurer and I used it, and it was way, way, way too much, but I didn't realize it, and I did that for like almost a week, and it made my face really, really red. Like, benzoyl peroxide, before your face gets used to it, it makes it kind of red, but mine got really, really, really red, and it was really embarrassing for a long time, because this was probably a little bit before I started making videos, but it was just like, yeah, so I was using way too much, but I was using a teaspoon, and no, it was not a tablespoon. I checked a million times. It's not a tablespoon. The tablespoon was larger. It was a teaspoon. It said teaspoon. It was a teaspoon. It was a teaspoon, and it was way too much, even though it said teaspoon. There are different things. I think I don't understand, but it might be something about the compression in the little teaspoon cup. I don't, like, because I do, like, you know, like, slick it off with my finger. I don't know. I can't really understand why it was way too much, but it was. I realized it was way too much when I watched a video of Dan Kern, the guy himself, doing the regimen, and I realized that So I was watching him doing it and putting on the product. I'm like, I'm using way more than that. So it was annoying, and I emailed him about it because I have like email, and he never responded, but whatever. So I've gotten responses to my other emails, so obviously this one was just too good and doesn't want to change anything. Anyway, so I realized that I was using too much, so I'm trying to use the right amount, but it's hard to figure out what it is. It says, like, there's a little photo. He says that you should use a thick, another way of like describing it is a thick finger's length of benzoyl peroxide, and it shows a picture of his finger. But again, I feel like it's too much. I need to practice, but I think the times I've done that, it's taken like 20 minutes to dry, and it says wait 5 to 15 minutes for it to dry. So I know if it's taking more than that, I'm probably using too much, right? When I was using the teaspoon, it was taking half an hour to dry. Yeah, something was a little wrong there, aka I was dousing my face with this stuff. So even the little picture, it takes like 20 minutes to dry, which then I'm probably using too much, aren't I? So it's just like really like, and I've been trying to get this right for like a month, because I've been doing this for a month, and I'm still going back and forth between too much, not enough, don't know, and it's just like really frustrating. And you can, well, to be fair, you can go on his website and buy benzoyl peroxide containers where it's a pump bottle and you just do 2 pumps. But the thing is, even if I got that, I still wouldn't be able to do it for the lotion, because I don't want to use his lotion, because I use SPF lotion, which, by the way, if you do the regimen, like, on the website, it says you have to buy all of his products, like, all his products, not use, like, ones from the drugstore or whatever, but back in the day, before, earlier in acne.com, he had products, but it also said you could use drugstore products. But now, I guess, I mean, I don't know his motives, but possibly he wants to make more money, so he says, you have to use my products. You don't have to use his products, but you do have to be careful about what products you use. I just use Olay SPF, like, 15 stuff, because I don't want to get wrinkles. So anyway, it's just, like, really frustrating, and I don't know what to do, and, like, I just, like, if you can see any lotion on my face, yeah, it's because I just used a finger's length of lotion, a thick finger's length, just like it says and shows in the picture. I didn't want to do benzoyl peroxide because I knew it'd be too much, way too much, and it'd tear my skin apart, so I did it of lotion, because you also use a teaspoon of lotion, or a thick finger's length of lotion. You use as much lotion as you do benzoyl peroxide. So I was doing the lotion, and it was way too much, and I looked like a white zombie. I looked like I was doing whiteface or something. I don't know. And so obviously that's too much. So it's just so, like, stressful, and I don't know. And it's really annoying. And every time I think I had, like, after using a teaspoon, I started using 1/4 of a teaspoon, which, yeah, is a lot less, but that was taking about 5 to 15 minutes to dry. But I just did it, and it only took like 6 or 7 minutes to dry, which is between 5 to 15, but I'm just kind of concerned that it's not enough, and I feel like it varies. So I keep measuring out the same amount, 1/4 of a teaspoon, every time, and sometimes it'll take like 5 minutes to dry, sometimes it'll take like 20 minutes to dry. And it's gotta be the same amount, because I keep measuring it out. So it's just, like, really weird, and I can't get it, and I can't eyeball measurements so that they're the same. So no matter how hard I try, it's always different. Or maybe my skin just feels like it's more absorbent sometimes than others. Actually, that might be true. Doesn't it have to do with, like, humidity and stuff? So I don't know. This is just me complaining about it, but I'm just, like, annoyed, and I guess I can't really blame Dan, because I don't really know how I would do it if I were him, but I mean, I can't really blame him because it is hard, but well, I do kind of blame him for putting the teaspoon on there because it was not a teaspoon. And anyone who measures out a teaspoon is going to be in trouble. It might be a teaspoon like uncompressed, but if you actually measure it in a measuring cup, it's going to be compressed and it's going to be way more than a teaspoon of the stuff. So, I don't know. I'm just struggling to keep it consistent, but now that I made this, I actually think that it might just be that sometimes my skin is more absorbent than other times, because I do remember reading somewhere that like humidity affects that. So sometimes maybe it just takes longer or shorter to absorb because it takes longer or shorter to absorb, because I keep measuring it out each time, so it's got to be the same. Although it also doesn't feel the same. Like sometimes it's harder to spread out completely and sometimes it's very easy because it's more, I think. So I don't know. Obviously I'm just really confused, and it's been like a month and I still can't get a consistent measurement, which is just, every time I think I get one, it's always different, even though I'm measuring it in a little measuring cup, a quarter of a teaspoon. So I don't know. And just, I don't know. But so far it's been doing fine, except my face is still kind of red. It doesn't look red right now, but it never looks red when I film videos, but it's always worse in real life. That's weird, but I always look better in my videos than I do in real life. Seriously. I always look really good in these videos, and then in real life I don't look like this. I don't know why. I don't like wear makeup or anything. It's just like, I don't know. Maybe the camera just makes me look good or something. I don't know. I'm a natural born celebrity, but yeah, that's all. So I'm really annoyed. That being said, never mind. I don't know. I don't know what to do exactly. I guess, what am I gonna do? I think I should just keep using a quarter of a teaspoon, because that's obviously somewhat close to the right amount, because it tends to take between 5 to 15 minutes to dry. So obviously that's close to the right amount. It's definitely better than what I was using in the beginning. I think I'm just going to keep using that and see what it is on average. So maybe sometimes it takes 5 minutes to dry, sometimes it takes 15 minutes to dry, but on average, is it close to 10, which is kind of in between? Because on average, is it close to that 10, which is just, I guess, that's just what I'm going to use is 10, because I want to get something that is on average 10. So is that on average, even if it varies sometimes? And if it is, then I'm just going to say, okay, well, if that's the average, that's average. So that's good enough. If it's not, I'll try to do something else. I think, if anything, I'm erring on the side of not using enough right now. I might need a little bit more, but I'm not completely sure. So yeah, and I'm really hoping that I'm still having, my face is still a little red, and I still am getting some acne, so, I hope once I get more consistent measurements, I can get the result. But yeah, right now my skin is just kind of the same as before, except maybe a little red, or, again, you can't really see it in these videos, but my skin does have a reddish tint to it, which it just exasperates the problem because my face blushes very, very easily. Even if I, like, am embarrassed at all or anything, but even if I, like, bend down, all the blood rushes to my face, or even if I'm, like, thinking really hard, which kind of happens in school, like, if I'm taking a test, my face gets red, or if I'm hot, or just anything, and it doesn't look like a nice, like, blush, it just makes me look ugly, and so, yeah, and then I just get really embarrassed and, like, hide my face, so, not that that's a good way to deal with not looking the best, but I'm a human, so, Alright, that's enough of that.